My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm appreciative.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing.
Welcome and all American Cartel members, Anons, Facebook friends, Twitter followers, random YouTube viewer, BitChute viewer, TikToker, Redditor, GLPer, 4chaner, and anybody else that might be watching. Thanks for joining me. My name is Julio. I am the Theorizing Theorist, and this is American Made. Thanks for joining me again. And obviously this video today, we're going to be talking about Kanye West and his allegations or accusations or whatever you want to call them about sacrifice and his mom being sacrificed and other people disappearing in Hollywood, as you just saw. So if you didn't see that part of that interview or whatever you want to call it, you're not alone. I saw this last night, late last night, and started making the video and kind of fell asleep and kind of been busy all day, finishing it now. It's Monday, about 7 o'clock at night, 7:30ish. Just sitting here watching Kill Tony. Not sure if you guys indulge in any Kill Tony. It's what's his name? Tony Hinchcliffe. Or Hitchcliffe. I'm not sure if it's with an N or not, but regardless, that's what I'm doing right now. So I decided to go ahead and finish this video for y'all, make episode 3 of American Made. If you guys aren't yet subscribed, please be sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, comment down below your thoughts, your theories, your worries, your concerns, anything in that nature. And yeah, if you want to donate to the channel, description box, Cash App link down there. But and a big thank you to a couple of people that donated. Somebody donated $100 a certain summer. I don't want to give the last name. I just don't want to give people's real names out there. But yeah. And they also have a YouTube channel. I'll be sure to put them in the community tab and in the description box. I'll put a link up to their channel, but make sure you support fellow cartel members, especially if they're supporting the El Capitan of the cartel, let's just say. And of course, we use cartel in jest. Basically, cartel is just, this is American made, but an all-American cartel represents a cartel of, you know, truth seekers, private investigators, online detectives, armchair detectives, independent journalists, and so forth, right? So, and just concerned citizens and all that good stuff. So honestly, we're just a cartel, and I consider each person to be their own little organization or their own little corporation or LLC or whatever you want to call it, even though whatever. So each person is responsible for their own little thing, and they all chime in the comment section down below. Usually a lot of you guys are OGs and have been here for a while, especially here on the backup channel. I affectionately call you my sicarios, but again, that's all in jest, and of course we're not really affiliated or anything to do with any type of violent cartels or anything like that. Cartel actually means, like I said, it's just an organization of organizations, right? A group of groups, and they usually do, I think, I'm not sure if it's illegal activities, if a cartel has to do illegal activities to be considered a cartel, but regardless, we're not here to talk about that. If you want to join this cartel, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, okay? So now let's begin with this Kanye West disaster that happened that was kind of hidden from us. And I'll tell you why here. Is Kanye West alluding to a connection to the Illuminati in his latest rant? Now, this was November 12th. Saturday, this came out. This is at 3:07 p.m., 3-minute read. So it just goes to show you it came out late Friday night, or Friday, I do believe. And I didn't catch it till Sunday night. So in a random rant to the paparazzi Friday night, Kanye West calls out artists who he says are currently under control by unnamed powers. And again, this isn't going to be an all opinion piece, so don't expect much theory. So they can control me, you know what I'm saying? West begins. They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. Both Shaquille O'Neal and LeBron James have spoken out against the rapper, and LeBron recently made the decision to drop the episode of The Shop featuring the rapper, which was once on hold. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce, West said, but they can't control me. Ain't no name I won't name, it's up. He then went on to call out Minister Louis Farrakhan, who actually came to West's defense last week in a 50-minute diatribe. Some of you that are persecuting him are the very ones that took away from him and from us the knowledge of self, the minister said. You took our language, you took our culture, you took our history, you took our minds and inserted your mind into our minds through your systems. And again, the media reporting on this is not this actual site, but when I first heard about it, like on Twitter, they left out a lot. Let's just say, I will stand on the truth that I was taught and stand with God. As long as I stand with God, I will be the winner, and so will Ye, and so will Kyrie, and so will any of us who want truth in our lives, Farrakhan concluded. However, West apparently did not receive the minister's words well. And for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight, West said in reference to this speech, and I don't take no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone, let's talk that out. The 45-year-old then went on to speak on Hollywood sacrifices, even referencing what would have apparently been his own, the death of his mother, Donda West. Why does it say his own? Oh, his own mother, Donda West. Okay. And that leads me to ask the question, did he have anything to do with her sacrifice, and he's just kind of coming clean now? My mama ain't here. My mama was sacrificed, West shared. Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, Bill Cosby, his son, Dr. Dre, his son, you know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. I feel like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. Ye concluded his rant by dropping other celeb names and saying that he can't go to jail because he hasn't killed anybody. This truth is gonna be heard, West said. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozies, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal issues. I never killed nobody, right? So they never sacrificed nobody, what he's trying to say. I'm the pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail. And I think he's referencing jail as in kind of like the Illuminati jail, where they either kill you or they blackball you and they make you look crazy. I mean, look at what they did to Dave Chappelle, who is also under hot water for what he recently did and said in regards to defending Kanye West, even though he kind of supposedly allegedly slighted Kanye West. If you read the headlines, it makes it sound like Dave Chappelle stood up against Kanye West, when in fact he was actually mostly, for the most part, defending him, so much so that he even got reprimanded, let's just say, by the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL. So very interesting stuff in that regards. But what about the stuff that he's saying? Everyone wants to kind of brush over it and say that he's crazy. Remember, they did this to Dave Chappelle. Remember, they did this to Cat Williams. Remember, they've done this to comedians, to actors, to numerous people. And we've all remember a certain Justice Roberts, the story that came out of Lynn Wood's camp, a lawyer that belonged to Trump, in regards to him having to murder a young whatever, and it was detailed pretty extensively. If you don't know, I don't know if it's true or accurate or if it was just propaganda, but definitely there's that running rumor that Hollywood and politicians and people that are put in positions of power, including some of these YouTubers, I would imagine, they're tested and they're approved and they're qualified or whatever by doing the unthinkable on camera or whatever, just to prove their allegiance. Let's just, much like a gang would have an initiation, they have their initiation. So these are pretty damning allegations by Kanye West. Now, my question is just like we've been saying for the longest time. It's not really a question, it's more of an opinion, I guess. This is an opinion piece. So with the theories that have been flying around, does Kanye West know about this and is playing or leaning into them for backing? Is that, a plausible or a reasonable theory, I guess? I mean, I suppose so, but it doesn't seem like he's messing around. And considering we've had numerous people that have even actually died when they talk about this kind of stuff in mysterious situations, there's such a long list. I don't know. It would be really weird to see Kanye West get killed. Maybe they replace him. I know that sounds crazy to some people, but it's not that crazy. I hope you guys are enjoying this podcast style. It's a little bit different than what I usually do, and I try not to do true crime or theories or conspiracies. I try to keep it opinionated. Just kind of speak freely, unlike in my other videos, but I like to show some receipts or have subject matter, I guess, to talk about. So that's what this video is. And we're going to check it out here in a second so we could have more to talk about and kind of dissect a little bit more in depth what he is discussing. Because like I said, when I first heard about this on Friday, I think a Cartel member actually sent it to me via like a direct message on Twitter or maybe on here, a link to this. And I didn't really pay much attention to it because of the title. The title was pretty much saying that he goes after Jews again, mentions nothing about no sacrifice or nothing to that effect. It was pretty much like, what did it say? I can't remember what the original one was, but it was very not this. Excuse me. So I want to know your guys' comments. If you comment down below and let me know if you guys heard about this immediately on Friday, all of this stuff, the sacrifice stuff too, or if it was also kind of veiled, hidden from you in this unique way that only the mainstream media knows how to do. So let's check this video out real quick.
It's scary. They can't control you. They can't. They try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You
Not
see,
you.
it ain't no name I won't name.
Exactly.
It's up.
Not you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone and let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slights from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slights from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah. I'm Christian too.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. Out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me. You understand? They hit me. Gap, Adidas, all that away. Still, Forbes, who hate me, right, had to write net worth 400 million. Jesus is king. God loved me.
That's more important thing in life.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is going to be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puppies, y'all Lil Boozy, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
So as you can see on that title there, that's kind of how it was presented to me as well, that he was talking about how he hasn't killed anybody, so he has every right to talk about whoever he wants and however he wants or something to that effect. So it really didn't seem too interesting, to be honest, until I saw it last night, and it was pretty shocking to me. I was like, man, how is this not big news? How does it not every day? And you would expect for them to at least make a big deal out of it and say he's crazy, right? Like, you would think the MSM, mainstream media, would come out and be like, oh, Kanye West has snapped. He said that they sacrificed his mom. Michael Jordan's mom was sacrificed. And if you don't know about Michael Jordan's dad, there's lots of theories that it was a gambling debt that, and some people, it's crazy theories out there in regards to his dad's death. So if you don't know much about that, please check it out and comment down below if you do. Help us out a little bit, inform us of what you do know and how it may apply here. But Bill Cosby, I'm assuming I don't know what sacrifice they could mean there, but these sacrifices have been happening since the day of Moloch or whatever. I don't know, like the Saturn cult. I don't know what these guys believe in, these Satanists, for lack of a better word. The Illuminated, right? The powers that be. These guys, they've done this sacrificial stuff throughout time. People, even on the lower echelons. Yeah, I don't know. You know what movie I saw last night was that Don't Worry, Darling. Now it got some really bad reviews. Me personally, I loved it. Me and my wife, for the first time in a long time, have been able to sit down and watch a movie and enjoy it together. See, me, I'm a big fanatic of scary movies and stuff like that. And she really likes the romantic comedy or Hispanic shows or movies. And we watched it, and I thought it was going to be a romantic comedy. I don't know why. I thought it was like a romantic comedy set in the 50s, 1950s, and it turned out to not be that. So if you haven't seen it yet, I suggest you check it out. It's definitely a sleeper. If you thought it was a rom-com, a romantic comedy, then please do yourself the favor. If you're into like Westworld type movies, and I hate to be a spoiler alert, but the movie's kind of... Anyway, just check it out. You'll love it. And thank me later. I promise you that. So, but I don't know why I started talking about that movie last night. I don't know. But these powers that be that Kanye West is talking about, it's very obvious to some of us, and to some of us, it's like we're living in this alternate reality where they just kind of are, and I get it. They see us. I used to be on that side, and I'm sure a lot of us have used to be on that side. So I think it's easier for us to understand their point of view than it is for them to understand our point of view, because we could remember, I think, when we didn't believe in all the conspiracy theories, and maybe you still don't, but we could all remember the time where we kind of were innocent and believed in all kinds of fun, innocent stuff, right? And then all of a sudden it was like a semi-wave that kind of hit us and made us very cynical, I guess, and as into how the world is ran and who runs it and what's it all about. Very, very hard to deal with for some of us. For some of us, we embrace it, and some of us really excel or do better knowing this knowledge, and we find purpose in trying to save others. And I feel like Kanye West isn't lying to anybody here. You know, they said, like I said, Dave Chappelle, when they sent him off to Africa, they said he lost his mind. And others that have been not sacrificed or killed, so to speak, but more punished. Like, you know how this whole, like, what's that girl's name? Charlize Theron. She has some daughters or sons, or I can't remember what the two. But they're transgender. Right? And I wonder if there isn't this deal like Dwayne Wade's kid and whatnot, like for the Illuminated. We see it as like an evil thing they're doing, but what if they're only like loophole around sacrificing one of your children or one of your babies is, once you get to certain levels or echelons or classes or whatever you want to call it, degrees, with a 33rd degree being the highest, maybe somewhere along those lines it's sacrifice somebody really close to you, not just sacrifice an enemy or murder an enemy, or if that's even one of, I don't know what the steps are. I wish somebody would make a book. If you have a link to something in regards to the degrees, I might Google it after this just to kind of, it'd be interesting to kind of know. Maybe we could see and label some of these events that are happening as ways of leveling up a degree, to say the least. Like, anyway, like, you remember watching the Minions with Groot? What's that show called, baby? What's that show called? Groot? The Minions? Oh, Despicable Me. You know how they have the meeting of the villains and the evil people, and they get like points. They ask them like, well, what'd you do that was evil today or this year? And they kind of give out awards and whatnot. I think that's kind of what they really do. And I just don't feel like Kanye's lying here. And I feel like the MSM would be more all over it. They would be like, hey, look at this loser. Look at this crazy guy. He thinks they're sacrificed. He even thinks his own mother is sacrificed. But the fact that they kind of try to hide that crazy statement that would be easily damnable if it was, false, or if they pushed the issue too much with Kanye, they probably don't want to get pushed back. So it's probably better and easier for them to go ahead and say, give a headline in the article that kind of doesn't allude to, I don't know, maybe this is just me being a conspiracy. I just don't understand how of all the things that he's done, gone after very, like, I can imagine worse. They're calling him a Nazi, they're calling him Hitler, they're calling him the anti-Semite word when he's trying to say that he is a Semite. Now they don't like that. They're like, how dare you say black people are Semites? Like, it's very racist, if anything. Like, it's almost like they don't want to, it's offensive to them. Like, if you watch all these personalities on YouTube and on TV and everywhere that are talking about it, they're very adamant that it's offensive, that you kind of like Lex Friedman. And anyway, they are very adamant that it's not appropriate for them to say that blacks are the true Jews. And I get that. Does that mean that? But there's worse stuff to be said, right? I can imagine. Like, I've heard Andrew Schultz and all these other comedians say jokes that are far more offensive, and I don't see how this promotes hate from Kanye West. I don't see how it promotes any type of thing other than, I mean, honestly, it's almost like he's bridging a gap between of this. I guess I didn't even know there was two different groups of Semites, but I guess I would consider him bridging that gap. What's the problem? But and everyone's been talking about it. There's no reason to kind of go in depth about all of that anti-Semite stuff. I even have a couple videos on it. It's really silly, but I just find it very remarkable that these people, the MSM, which is ran by these certain individuals, that they don't or won't talk about these sacrifices that Kanye West is obviously alluding to, the Illuminati. Now, we read it here in this article. Some people are kind of talking about it, but I just think this should have really, maybe it's still going to explode. Maybe after this it explodes. I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me out. Share this on Twitter. Tweet it out to your peoples or my peoples or whoever's peoples, and see what happens. Maybe we can get the mainstream media to kind of address it, although I don't think it will help. I think they'll just use it much in the fashion like I mentioned earlier, like we would expect them to use it and say, hey, this is how crazy Kanye West is he's even saying that they sacrificed his mother with no evidence. And I mean, it's all kinds of sillinesses they can make him. They can make him look all sorts of silly, right? And I'm like I said, it's remarkable. I'm curious as to why they haven't jumped on the opportunity, considering right now it's open season on Kanye West. So I don't know. You guys comment down below your thoughts, your theories, what you guys think. I got to make this video a 30-minute video, and we're running on 20-minute 23 here. Yeah, if you have any links to these 33rd degrees, and I know that goes from Freemasons and Masons. What do you guys think? You think the Illuminati and the Freemasons are the same thing? I know there's going to be a lot of probably Freemasons or Masons or whatever people that have them. My daddy was a Mason. Come in here and talk about how righteous and wonderful these people are, but I mean, it's kind of like the cartels in Mexico. They pay off all the locals, they pay for schools, they give them food, they give them a lot more than what the government gives them, which is pure hell, and therefore they become these like heroes, and these folk heroes. It's like folklore develops, right? That these guys are the ones that love the people, take care of the people, and it's much like that. So, oh yeah, that's right. I was thinking about, I was reading about JonBenet Ramsey. Now here's a little bit something different, I guess, other than Kanye West, but they're reopening the case or doing something. Now the dad is still alive. Did y'all know that? I thought the mom died of cancer, the dad died later, and all that. Now, dad apparently said that he doesn't think that it was this new direction that they're going to go in, or the new methods they're going to employ. I don't know what they're going to do. I didn't really read up into it, but the dad didn't seem too convinced. And I think it's obvious that, I don't know if you guys know this, but the son, it was the son. It was a brother, John Benet Ramsey's brothers. What it sounds like, I don't know. I wasn't there. Definitely could have, probably was a sacrifice, considering I haven't really gone over all that stuff in regards with, with that mind frame, with that filter, with that lens, through that lens, of it being something more sinister. Like, was she being abused by a didn't they have a party going on that night? I don't know. Comment down below if you guys have any interesting things you want to talk about. But just like OJ Simpson, for instance. Now I'm thinking about doing a call-in show. Something to the effect to where you guys would be able to call in, maybe do like an hour a day, and like an ask me anything, or like, what do you know, kind of try to see if I know anything about a certain subject, and I'll let you know what I know. And then if you have other interesting, cool stuff to add to what I know, then maybe you can add your 2 cents. And if I don't know nothing about it, then it gives you an opportunity to educate us, fellow cartel members, in some of these cool, interesting conspiracies that are out there that are probably unknown and that go under the radar and fly underneath us, especially some of the nittier, grittier ones, the unheard ones. Some of those are very hard to come by, let me tell you. But yeah, like OJ Simpson, for instance, who killed Nicole Smith, or whatever her name was. It was OJ Simpson's son. Facts. I don't know, factual 100%, but from the evidence that I saw and all that, the documentary and everything, it was the son. What else is there now? So that's what I want the call-in show, like, ask me, who do you think did this, and then we can kind of discuss it maybe. And I'm pretty open to all theories. I don't ever think that I'm right at all, so I'm easily swayed. Not easily swayed, but easily, you don't even have to try at all to have me partially believe in your theory. Even if it's a crazy one, I'll at least give it a plausible, probable, possible rating. I could say, yeah, it's possible, it's plausible, or it's probable, right? That's the best one, I would imagine. That's the best we could ever hope for. Also, what's his name that got killed? God, what's his name? That rapper that came out and promoted Dr. Sebi. I think he knew they were going to kill him. And that's why he promoted Dr. Sebi, because he knew that, I'm not sure if it was the pharmacy companies that were going to come after him or whatever. Somebody was, like the powers that be, and there's other theories in regards to it being like Trump admin with a certain letter of the alphabet helping out. But it was weird to me that he started talking about Dr. Sebi and all this stuff, and I think it was he was hoping, this is just, even though I said we wouldn't do theories, fine, here's my opinion. Well, what if he was doing that because he knew it would draw a lot of shade to the pharmaceutical companies, and he was hoping to save his own ass, in the sense of that if he knew that if they killed him, it would bring all kinds of eyes to Dr. Sebi's information that's banned, and they killed Dr. Sebi as well, and all this kind of stuff. So he thought that maybe the pharmaceutical companies would say, hey, you can't kill him, right? You and I know this is a theory, sorry guys, but hey, you can't kill him because of it'll bring too much eyes to Dr. Sebi, right? All kinds of theories out there. So let me know which one is your favorite one in the comments section down below. Maybe I'll just read your comments instead of doing an hour episode of live, and maybe I'll just do an hour episode over your comments and your thoughts and your theories. Very fun for me to go over them, especially now that I'm trying to grow this new channel with this new 30-minute episodes. Trying to do an episode a day, but please forgive me if I skip a couple days or if I skip a day here and there. I'm definitely going to do once a week, but for now, until I get the other channel back, we're going to do one once a day. And then when I get the other channel back, I might start going back to my old schedule, but posting over here every Friday a 30-minute episode of American Made. Now, I think we're almost at the end of this episode, so be sure to subscribe, like this channel, donate if you want to by hitting the Cash App down below. Had some people donate to the channel. I think I mentioned already a certain summer, and I can't remember the other person donated $11.75, I think, a very specific number, and I was very curious as to what that meant. So if you want to email me, unfortunately Cash App doesn't allow me to message you back except for 3 emoticons. Unless I'm wrong, please comment down below if I'm missing something, but all it allows you to respond with is the 3 little emoticon, whatever you call them, and it's terrible. I would love to get to know you guys, start a relationship, a friendship with you guys. I think it's the least I could do, seeing as how you're supporting me in this venture I have going on here. So if you want to and you've already donated, please feel free to email me at anallamericancartelllc@gmail.com. Even if you haven't donated, feel free to reach out to me. I try to respond to as many as I can. Sometimes I get busy with real life. Sometimes I have not much to say, or sometimes I just don't want to respond. Generally, I'm pretty busy, and by the time I get to the email, it's kind of embarrassing to email you back a week later, so I kind of just let it slide. But if you've emailed me before and I haven't responded, try emailing me again. Maybe I'll respond. And with that said, guys, I'm going to bow out with my typical, and as always, you guys know my routine. To God be the glory.